Well, often not all the land a farmer works is his own. Brock Turner reports on how technology is helping connect farmers and landowners.
It's harvest season, and like so many places across the state, farmers are getting ready to work their fields. In many cases, it's not the folks who own this land who are responsible for farming it, but like so many other businesses, technology is changing the way farmers find their next bumper crop. David Musselman has been a farmer in Hamilton County his entire life.
Growing up there, Dad had me out driving a tractor when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I've stayed with it.
While he and his family own about 500 acres, they farm much more than that. Musselman and most other farmers grow their operations by leasing land. While data on the subject is hard to track, experts agree the number of Indiana farmers with at least some rented land is sizable.
Almost all of them have some amount of rented land.
Some research estimates 40% of all U.S. farmland is rented, which translates to around 350 million acres annually. For most corn and soybean farmers, especially those at the beginning of their careers, owning all of their land is out of the question.
They tend to work with 6 or 7, sometimes up towards a dozen different landlords. So they also don't necessarily want their other landlords to know kind of what they're paying some of the other landlords. So it's really tricky to tell.
Despite the secrecy that surrounds many agreements, local connections are at the root of the vast majority of transactions.
I'm friends with everybody I farm with, and I've been at it for 50 years.
Some landowners who don't have strong ties to the community struggle to find farmers to lease their ground.
We live 40 miles away from the land that we bought, and I had no connection whatsoever with any farmer.
For Singh and other landowners, technology is beginning to bridge the gap. Both he and Musselman connected on the Tillable app, which connects landowners to farmers. While the vast majority of tillable landowners never meet their farmers, today was different.
We bought this land 2 years ago. So the goal was to build a house here, away from the city, still in the city limits. Then COVID hit. The plan didn't go as we, thought about.
Even though experts agree the vast majority of agreements will continue to take place offline, tillable is beginning to change a decades-long practice few outside of agriculture ever thought about.
This is a part of agriculture that really doesn't get much attention.
While tillable and other networks are still responsible for a relatively small number of the total transactions, Keithy believes it's only a matter of time before the innovation that has infiltrated other parts of agriculture reaches these types of agreements.
I'm always skeptical saying it's going to be totally different. It's going to be a huge structural change, but I think we'll see some movement.
Until then, Musselman has few plans to change the way he brokers other agreements.
I think for the most part it'll stay with who you know.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Brock Turner.